My name is Matt Dickmeyer. I own Dickmeyer Automotive Engineering in South Whitley, Indiana. We've been updating and upgrading the shop over the last couple of years. We've put in a new dyno room, and came time to put in a new engine dyno. This being my third dyno, I decided to design and build it completely myself from scratch, and this is what I've come up with. Since I've started this project, the word's kind of got out to people, and I've had tons of guys calling me wanting to know information about what I'm doing, what I'm building, features, and so on. Got guys that want to put money down on a system for them. I thought the best way to do this would be to make some short videos over some of the key features that I've designed into the system. And one of the simplest, but very innovative, I think, is our APL unit, which is auto pre-lube. Instead of pre-lubing the engine with a old distributor with the distributor gear off, or if you've got an LS or another engine without a distributor, you would have to put a 1/4 inch pipe to dash 4 line into a remote tank, pressurized that way. What I've done is integrated the pre-lube system completely into the machine. What we've got down here is, this is the tank. It's also the jack stand for lining up the bell housing when you hook the dyno up. What I've done is I have 2 -10 lines. The -10 lines go to the filter, through the cooler, and then back to the engine. And it's just really simple. The black line is engine oil out. It goes to the offset connector on this oil filter adapter. The gold is clean oil in. This comes out of the filter and the oil cooler. So that actually hooks up the entire oiling system. And what I've done is I've also integrated over here the thermocouple and the pressure transducer into the system. So when you hook up these 2 Jiffy tight connectors, the system is completely hooked up. So at that point then, through this port, you put your oil in the tank. This tank holds up to 9 quarts of oil. This engine takes 7, and it takes about 1.5 quarts for the system. What I've done is I have 2 reusable and cleanable oil filters. And they use 2 10-micron stainless steel screens. 10 micron is a little fine for engine oil, so that's why I went with the 2 filters. It doubles the surface area. Also have drains on the bottom for after you're done. So put this back on. The next thing to do is, after you put the oil in it, tighten the port and then add air. There's a Schrader valve over here. Fill it up to whatever you want. I'm gonna go around maybe 70 PSI. So then at that point, what this does is the oil comes out of the tank through this -6 line. Now, this ball valve here has to be closed, because when you open up the purge tank, the path of least resistance will be to push the oil back into the oil pump into the tank. So you close this, and then you just open this valve. Now go check out the pressure. At this point, when the engine is under pressure, you can actually hit the bump start, crank the engine over for a few seconds. It'll get all the oil through your rods, mains, and up to the top end. Go ahead. Okay. oil gets distributed through the engine, up through, like I said, through your bearings, up through the valve train, through the push rods to the rockers, and that's it. It's done. And then when you are done, when we first started, these two hoses were over here in a park position. When you're done with the engine, you take disconnect your Jiffy type disconnects, and then you hook them back up here. And then when you're done, you refill the tank with air, open each one of these individually. And then, like I said before, there's drains on the bottom. You just put a pan under it. You push air through the system, through the cooler, back through the filters, and it back flushes all the old dirty oil out of the system. Clean your filters, and you're ready to go with another engine. It's just that simple. So